Hello, this is Fafnir, and I'm doing this is a little bit different from the other replay reviews I've done before. This is actually going to be going over the DotP.Devils. They played a 5-stack party rank game, and I'm going to be going over probably the first 10 minutes and look at each of the lanes. And this is a game that Kimbrel and Kairai both asked me to look at because they'd been losing a lot. So they kind of wanted to say, hey, what are we doing wrong? Because it was a very long game, but I looked at it and watched a fair chunk of the game, and I really think it came down to the lanes. They got behind and were stuck behind for quite some time. So we are going to look at that. So let me first things first, let's get everyone loaded in the game. Okay, so we've got, this is the DotP.Devils. Gangakai is the 4 support, Sushi's the 5, Kimbrel plays Safelane carry or mid depending sometimes. Dreadbeats plays the offlane, and Kairai plays mid, and sometimes Safelane depending on heroes. I believe this was an all-pick game. I don't think it was a captain's mode, but I'm not 100% certain. But either way, I don't think it really matters. Now, the first things that we're going to look at is probably the offlane. So we're going to go to Dreadbeat's perspective and just kind of follow him and see what he does. The first thing I'll say about this is that he is not given an offlane ward. This is not good, especially when you're doing team practice. There's no reason to, unless your mid needs the ward, then I don't know if they're going to give it for Kairai or not, but Axe could also have said that he doesn't. But I generally think if you want Axe to be able to stay in the lane and not have to run to jungle after sapping some XP, you want to give him that vision. The other thing I'll say is he went very greedy in his item build. Stout Shield, Tango, Ring of Protection is pretty standard, but instead of buying a salve, he brought 2 Iron Branches. What are they for? They don't do anything. So you can potentially plant them and eat them, and that does double the regen of 2 of your tangos, but it doesn't allow you to trade with supports, and it does not let you stay in lane. So because Axe is a pretty good carry for trading with supports, depleting their regen, and then coming back to lane. It also, like, if you kill a camp twice, then you use your salve. Like, you could jungle that hard camp, just jungle it twice, get to level 2 or 3, and then just salve up and head back to lane after the supports have roamed a little. So the first thing I'll say here is you can watch what Dreadbeats is doing right now. He went to bot rune for no reason. Up top, he knew that there was no one showing because it's just the Riki. So they don't see anyone on top. He didn't see anyone bottom. He had no ward vision. If they'd better coordinated this, they absolutely could have killed him. If they'd gotten off a Siphon into a CM stun or a spin, he's dead. Jug has actually got 305 move speed, so all they need is a little bit of a slow on him. He can spin and just run him down. But instead, they don't coordinate well, which is fine. You know, that's life. He doesn't he doesn't die for it, but he does lose 240 health. That's 2 tangos. So he's already lost 2 tangos worth of health before he's even gone to lane. Now, Axe does have better than normal base regen. This is one of the things that balances the hero. He's 3.8, so he's going to regen some of this up before the creep wave meets. But he also should eat a tango because you want to regen up this health. Still, why go to that rune? There's nothing good that can happen to you there. See, now he's getting zoned by just the Crystal Maiden. He has to be pretty scared from the Jug, and he's respecting their kill potential, but again, he isn't eating. He's letting the CM zone him right here. There's no reason he can't trade with the CM. Basically, anytime the Jug is not like last hitting like that, go walk at the CM. Just make sure you stay in XP range as much as you can. You can trade with the CM. CM doesn't have many tangos. Yeah, CM has more regen than you need. That's one of the big problems here. So, see, he could have gotten some more XP. Now, here's the other thing that Dreadbeats is not doing. So they got double range creeps, so this is going to push. So this is good. But one of the things he could do to try to get some of these last hits is if he just clicked, if you just attack moved on one of these heroes, you're going to aggro these 4 melee creeps. Pull them onto your range creep, pull them onto your Axe, you will start spinning potentially, so you can get the last hits there. You also just make it harder for this the carry to last hit. If you're gonna mess with his offlane, just aggro him. When you're in 500 range of the creeps, click on the heroes, pull them onto your range creep. then de-aggro them if you want. And then they'll kill your range creep. They're going to push even more. This also makes it very hard for the carry to last hit. And if he doesn't properly pull his melee creeps onto his range carry, or then the wave's going to push even more. So that is just something you could do. Like right now, it'd be really easy. Just click on her. And you get, yeah, just run at her. Just make sure you get what XP you can. Yeah, CM, like her right clicks are meaningless. Only thing that you need to be worried about is the slow. And you don't see the other support, so you don't know what's going on. So you're going to get these things. But you still got no last hits. And for an axe offlane, you either need to pressure the pressure the safe lane, or you need to getting farm. And right now, see right here, you're under tower. You're under tower right here. You are completely safe. Like, level 1 CM and a Jug Spin aren't going to kill you right now. You're in Jug's level 2, no big deal. He does have boots, so he has more kill potential there. But you could absolutely just right-click him, aggro these creeps onto your range creep, and then just last hit them. Like, there's no reason for you to be scared and not at the wave. The other thing I'll say is Battle Hunger is pretty useless this lane. Battle Hunger is a pretty good spell to bully like CM, but casting on a Jug is completely worthless. First of all, he's just going to last hit. And then it's gone. Second of all, if he's going on you and you're trying to use it to escape, he will just spin and then it goes off him because he goes magic immune, and then you lose that extra speed bonus anyways. This is a lane I would definitely get call on. The extra Berserker's Call is really nice. If they dive you, you could potentially call them so they stay under tower and die. Also, it is one of the tools you jungle. Use Berserker's Call to help yourself jungle because of the bonus armor it grants you. 40 bonus armor for 2 seconds, which is nice. Let's see. Yeah, you aren't aggroing these creeps at all, and you're not pressuring them from farming. Beyond that, like last hitting under tower is an axe is always challenging, just because your spin randomness and then also your base damage is quite poor. So I just say try to practice last hitting, but that's just life. You're not going to necessarily get it. And now, I do like that you're going to go to the bot rune to grab it. It's some free XP. But at this point, I think you need to evaluate what's going on with this wave. You're now level 3. Can you pressure this lane? Or is it too much of a kill lane? And I think the answer to this is you really can't. Especially once Witch Doctor shows, I don't think you can. Jug's pretty good against Axe when you have two good supports like Witch Doctor or CM. And here's another thing I will disagree with. You do not want to ring a regen. This +2 health regen is just wasted. You almost had boots. You could have just bought your boots. Boots are really important. Like, see right now, like, Jug runs at you and you're threatened. And also boots let you run down these supports. If you battle hunger and have boots, you can absolutely run down a Crystal Maiden. But without it, what are you going to do? Ring regen will help top you off, but it's just not necessary. Now you're going to jungle camp. I don't mind this, but you're jungling in a really dangerous area. You could jungle safely in your hard camp. And what happens is, use their nukes on you, they spin, and you give up first blood. Why jungle this camp right here where you know they just saw you? They just saw you here. There's no reason to jungle this camp. If you want to jungle, just go jungle this camp. Walk back. If you're going up here, you're trying to pressure them and keep those two supports in lane, which is definitely a worthwhile goal. But in the end, jungling this camp is just not something you can do without. And this is what comes down to, if you had a ward and you could have seen those supports coming, you could maybe have backed away. But jungling that camp, just a really dumb risk. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit till you're alive. And we're just going to go from lane to lane. We'll probably go to safe lane next, and then we'll look at mid. Oh, Power dies. You TP down, back down to bot. You still got your branches, you haven't used them for anything. But now you know one of the supports was mid, so... The problem, though, is now Witch Doctor's got boots and you don't. So it's very hard to punish them now because they have boots and you don't, and you could have had boots. So these things, when you're trying to contest lane, the boot advantage is so big. I mean, it's really hard for me to stress how important it is. Hey, look at this Witch Doctor. He just zones you. So, looks like now Dreads is heading back to... I like this. Just eat your way through and start jungling this camp. This is good. If your lane's not going and you only have 2 last hits, 2 last hits is not enough. Axe really is dependent on his blink dagger time, and you need, in your team, is pretty reliant on your Axe for catch. Some bad spin luck here. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that sucked. You didn't get any spins for quite some time. At this point, it'd be nice if you could just, if you had that salve like we talked about earlier, you could just salve yourself up, do that camp again. The one thing you can't do is come down to lane. If you're either going to suicide to neutrals or not, if you come to lane with 100 HP, you're just literally wasting time. He sold the branch, and you're just sitting here trying to regen up passive. You haven't even used your tango to try to passively. This is just a ton of wasted time. You could be stacking the ancients. You could have stacked the ancients when you were that low. That's not a problem. You could have gotten a salve shipped out to you. But now Jug with his boots just spins and runs you down. All because you just stayed in lane. And you didn't get XP for when you're doing that. You just were there. Like, you were standing by your tower just waiting to passively regen up with your ring of regen, which doesn't, only 2 HP regen per second. Which does nothing for you. Now you're back alive. At this point, you just got to commit to the full jungle, but you come back down to lane. So, you've now died twice. Let's look at this. The Jug is now level 5, you're level 3. The Crystal Maiden's level 4, and the Witch Doctor's level 3. So you have no level advantage, they have boot advantage over you. And you could have enough gold to, I believe, either complete your Iron Talon or come really close. This is the point where you just got to go jungle. Like, it is nice that they have this stack made for you. And you're scared. You should use your tango.
Double damage.
The stack is actually so huge for you right now. But I think you saw CM. Use your tango finally. Still no boots. It looks like you're just scared to commit to this. You battle hunger the Jug, but Jug doesn't care. Yeah, he just denied. You just wasted 75 mana to do negligible damage to him. Still, it's just you and Jug now, so you can kind of bully him. Yeah, you see, you pulled the creep aggro there. That is exactly what you should have been doing at level frickin' 1. And you could use that to pressure the Jug. See, now Jug's kind of... Oh, call him. Oh, man, if you called him, one of all those creeps, you might not have killed him, but you'd have done a ton of damage to him. And see, you missed all those last hits because you were largely relying on spin. When you have creeps under tower like that, and there's other creeps there, like, you gotta de-aggro them as Axe. It's really important for you to de-aggro, so you can just last hit normally. You do not want to spin in that situation. And these are all just things you need to do better as an Axe, so you can get a better lane pace. See, right here, that's more of a good battle hunger, because there's not creeps for him to last hit. But you should be looking to get him on a call. See, now you call when you're not under enemy creeps, and you just get Omni Slashed. And that's because you got this huge level advantage on you on these other kills. And you don't have your boots yet. If you'd had your boots, you could have potentially run up and called him before. I mean, there's just so many things that are different if you have boots or if you don't feed away 2 kills that are unnecessary. Now you're just heading to jungle, which is the right thing to do. Jug's got Omni, he's now level 7, you're level 4, you cannot fight him. So now you've got to kind of just jungle up with the old dropping the Tranquil Boots phase. So I think we're done here with the offlane, and I'll just say this, there's just a lot of things you could have done improved. And Lord knows that with a tri-lane like that, Witch Doctor CM is an excellent kill tri-lane. Probably going to be forced to jungle even if you play it better. But if you played it better, you're going to have more than 8 last hits, you're going to have more XP, and those supports would have had to stay bottom longer. So it's just something to look at, and as an Axe right now, your net worth is pretty garbage right now, and this is a huge problem because Axe is such a tempo-based hero with his blink timing. So, now we're going to go back.
Juggernaut.
Okay, it looks like it was ranked all pick. Now we're going to go back to the start of the game, pause it up, and we're going to go to Safelane. So, Safelane, we've got a Omni Knight, a Slark, and a Lion, which is actually 3 pretty good. It's a really good kill lane because you've got Pounce to get on top of someone, You've got Omni Knight for Purification Heal Bomb. And you've got Lion, who doesn't bring great damage, but he does bring great disable. So you've got a pretty good kill lane against most offlaners. You do a lot of damage, and you get a lot of catch. And Degen Aura plus Purification Bombs and Pounces. You get an Orb of Venom on one of those heroes, and you can do a lot of damage. Now, if you look at the enemy lineup, they've got an offlane Riki. So what you have is you did buy sentries. That's good. You do need to use sentries. But when you have a good kill lane against Invis heroes, you don't just want sentries. You actually also want dust, because sentries are stationary, and if they figure out where they are, you can't run them down. Or if they just walk away from you, they can just walk away, get out of the sentry range, and then they're fine. By having dust, you slow them when they're invis, which is important for Riki because he can't uninvis himself without doing something, which slows him. You know, him turning around to hit somebody or is going to be slow him down more than the dust does, honestly. So one of your supports should definitely have dust. If you look at Lion, he's got a mango. Tango, you know, what does this mango do for you? You could have dust instead of this mango. Or potentially the Omni Knight, who looks like he bought the sentries and one observer ward, and also has a mango and 2 clarities. Like, he could one of your supports should just commit to buying dust. In this inclination, I would say it should be Lion, and that is simply because the Lion's the one who's going to be walking up and stunning. The other option would be for the supports to buy the dust, and they should give it to Kimbrel. And the reason this is kind of one of the things you can do with this is the reason because Kimbrel's the one who can pounce. So if he sees Riki under a sentry, he can pounce him, and then he's right on top of him. He dusts, then he's slowed, and the supports just collapse on the Riki. And then you get heal bombs, you get earth spikes, and you just start punching the Riki. And Rikis are pretty damn fragile early. So that's something to look out for how it's handled. So, setting up your rune positioning, I don't know if Kimbrel is scouting. It is an offlane Riki, so if he's going to go place a ward, it's very difficult to spot him. So I don't mind him being here for the rune fight, but in general, I prefer the Safelane carry or one of the supports to be up there looking for them when they ward. Now, we know by a minimap log the Riki was actually right there, but it looks like Kyrie outclicked him. And that's the other thing. If, say, the Riki won the click war, dropping a sentry down there doesn't guarantee a kill or anything. Like, they can stun him up, pounce him all they want, but without the dust ability to chase him down, they might not be able to get a kill. If you just dust immediately, he's 100% dead. Sentry? Not necessarily. So, Kimbrel's doing the blocking. And we look here. So, and it looks like Riki did place a ward. So, and they've already committed a sentry to right here. And that's actually a pretty good place to place a sentry. But I don't know if you necessarily want to commit that before you know where the creep wave is going to meet, depending, because it varies on the block. You want the sentry to be down. There's a couple things you want about the sentry. First of all, you don't know if the Riki has sentries of his own. Turns out he didn't have them. But if he did, and you're going to get a sentry war, you want to have the sentry somewhere hidden in the trees. You don't want it in the open. So maybe put it a little more hidden. But right now it's covering the creep wave, so it's in a good position. I like that sentry position. But if you watch, yeah, and you just immediately auto attack. That's not good at all. You don't want to reveal that the sentry's there. You wanted him to walk up closer. You just wanted him to keep walking up until the point where Lion's in position stunned. You can purify and flame him, and Slark can pounce him all into the sentry. But by hitting him right there, and maybe it was an auto attack on thing, and that's the other reason not to commit it too early. And now he knows where it is, and he can just walk away. And you'll see he's just walking away. And you just keep right-clicking him, which is fine, and you commit the second sentry, and this is the big mistake. So by committing the second sentry to down here, you're now committed to this right here. You've now left a giant area over here where he's completely safe to get XP for the most part, and you don't have any way to catch him. And he also he probably saw you place that, and even if he didn't, he ran over here and you stopped right-clicking him. He knows there's no sentry here. He knows you only have 2 sentries, so the Riki can just hang out in this area and be completely safe. And if you watch, this is what happens. And now this Riki's completely safe and can just get XP right here. Yep, and you right-click him here, but what does that right-click do? One right-click up harass, and you just revealed exactly where that sentry is. And he knows he's now outside of sentry range. Meanwhile, if you look at the wave, so the supports really played this wrong. You've got good kill potential. If you had dust, you could get that kill. and you also put your sentries in good positions to see him in the wave, but you've also committed them too early, and you've left this Ricky pretty much free, and he's just picking up XP at this point, uncontested. The other thing that's happened, and we're going to go back here and watch what Kimbrel is doing. Okay, so while all that dance was happening with the supports, we've got Kimbrel here on the Safelane Slark. So we're going to go here and look at Kimbrel's perspective. Kimbrel's build, light on regen. He's got 2 Fairy Fires, a Tango, a Mango, and a Stout. I don't like this build. I understand the purpose of it, but these 2 Fairy Fires could be a salve. Yeah, +4 damage is great, but you know what you can do? You can just buy a Quell. You can buy 2 Slippers Agility to get that Poor Man Shield if you want more damage. What you can't do is ship yourself out more regen. Slark is a weak laner, and while the 2 Fairy Fire thing is nice, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's risky. If they do, if your lane doesn't go as well as you'd like, you can be forced out. So right here, the supports are going to be running around. They're chasing this Ricky. If you watch, Kimbrel just last hits. He looks down. Okay, that's fine here. And then he starts auto-attacking these creeps. And you're going to see where this gets messed up. Yeah, because he auto-attacked the creeps, he's just auto-attacked. So now, because you just auto-attacked 3 times, and then tank the wave, and then what happens? You get 2 ranged creeps. So that simple act of you just punching the creep 3 extra times, and then looks like you just completely messed up your lane equilibrium, which when you're facing an invis hero and you just have static sentries, you have to freeze the wave. And you see here, he's still hitting the creeps. Why are you hitting the creeps? Like, why auto attack? You're getting the last hits, it's good, you got 5 last hits, but you've pushed the wave horribly. Now contrast that with what the Jug was doing down here. The Jug, for the most part, was trying to freeze the wave. Now he also ended up with 2 range creeps, but it's just, these are just the sort of things are just avoidable errors. And the second you got those 2 range creeps, you should tell your supports, hey, we're gonna need to pull this wave. And then the Omni Knight over here uses one of his tangos, eats this hard camp, and just gets ready for a 23-second side pull, and you can deny a whole wave of XP to the Ricky. Because you do have sentries in position here, so you can't. But Sushi kind of just does nothing. And instead, Ricky here is going to get a ton of free XP. You do get a pounce, but now, Slark had dust, you dust him, you just keep going. You peel bomb him, you just right click him, he's dead. That Ricky's 100% dead if you have dust. Right there, that just had to demonstrate what the dust would have done. Because Slark gets the pounce off, bam, dust him. Instead, he's fine. And he's going to get all this. He's going to get 3 range creeps worth of XP. And meanwhile, this whole time, there's no pulls happening. None. And Slark is splitting XP between 3 heroes, basically. Slark just hit level 2. Yep. So, we go here. So now there's this huge wave. And Kimbrel hits it, but he gets pulled behind tower and he just backs off. Meanwhile, this Ricky is happy as a clam. He's level 2. He's about to hit level 3. Ricky hits level 3. Now, he doesn't last hit well. He doesn't get any of those last hits, so he fucked up the last hitting. But now he's level 3. A level 3 Ricky is a whole different ballgame than a level 1 Ricky, which you could have easily frozen him just by investing in dust and sentries. And or not pushing the wave. It's the carry player, Kimbrel. You cannot push the wave. Now, it looks like you guys did get the pull here at 53, which is good. But Sushi is running here behind, not in position to help Lion Zone. And it will continue to split XP with the Slark. You just last hit under tower, that's what you have to do. See, now you've got the wave back in a good place again. And what happens immediately? You just auto-attack a creep. And then you get your aggro, you auto-attack again. See, now your wave's going to push out. And then the reason I know it's going to push out is because you punched it 3 times. And you also tanked a few waves. And you're not denying. And yeah, you're getting your last hits, but if you look at that. Look at how much you pushed it, just with those last hits and the tanking of it. If you had properly manage that creep equilibrium, it stays there. It just stays there. Instead, you're looking at this, you've now got double range creep, and this Ricky is going to get another double wave. There's no way to avoid it at this point. Yeah, Omni die, nice, but you know what's the big point of this? Now, Axe now dies bot, and look at Ricky. Let's look at Ricky here. He now gets the free last hit under tower again. He's going to be level 4. He's not contested here, and if you look, they actually killed one of his creeps. So you lost the last hit by not being there, by not going up to tower. You missed the last hit, Kimbrel. So, and what is Ricky gonna do to you? Again, you just keep auto attacking these creeps. Now you're trying to push it out, I guess. Like, why are you spending mana to instead of just last hitting? The pull was executed. You didn't need to push the wave anymore. Just by pushing the wave out there, fortunately, because of how the Ricky did things, you ended up stacking a range creep. But again, you're trying to de-push. There's a smoke cloud. The pure bomb, negation bomb misses. There's no dust. If you had dust, you guys could just run him down. Like, he can't get away from you. He's out of position. He doesn't have... Oh, he does have boots now. He just bought them. And you can just keep punishing him. But now he's level 4, and your sentry just expired. And he's free to do whatever the heck he wants. There's more sentries down. He sees that you placed it. You're obviously walking towards him, so he knows he's under a sentry. And this whole time, you were still getting the last hits. You're still keeping up on last hits with the Jug, so that's good. But if you look, what the Jug has is he has 15 denies. And they have successfully punished the Axe with their tri-lane. Axe is not in a good situation. Ricky also has, you know, crappy last hits, but Axe is level 3. Ricky's level 5. Ricky is out-leveling the carry by a huge margin. And, Ricky's one of those heroes that with XP can just start ganking, moving around the map, and just do a ton of damage. So this is where you guys basically lost your Safelane, even though you last hit pretty well. The other thing that was happening is if you watch, Jug was getting solo XP. For the most part, he was splitting with one other hero, and instead you're splitting with a lot. And you never dewarded the pull camp, even though you bought sentries. No reason. And see, that's the other thing. Like, these fairy fires you bought, you end up just eating them. What's the point? There, both your supports leave. Trying to save the Axe, trying to punish the Jug, which makes sense. Yeah, hey, I'm getting dived, They TP in. But now, Ricky just free last hit. I do like that you're coming over here to get these last hits on the big creep. Oh, missed it. That sucks. That always is so painful. Oh, get the little cells, and that's 10 gold. Well, I guess you're gonna miss last hit here. Yeah, you should have just Dark Pacted for those. Would have been better off. But overall, you're still farming well. So this isn't like a terrible game, but just the little things of controlling lane equilibrium instead of... See right here. And now you're getting gone on, you're getting punished. Maledict's up. Oh, we've got 2 tangos. Oh, you Dark Pact. Ooh, yeah, that's really bad. Maledict isn't just purgeable, like 100%. Also, once you're done taking damage, make sure to switch to Agi Treads. Your passive regen just goes farther if you're on Agi Treads. Tread switching, if you're going to play Slark, is just something you got to practice all the time. And right now, you are basically zoned because your supports aren't here, and there's a Witch Doctor. And so now Ricky can just last hit freely. Also, Ricky's got, you know, decent XP advantage on you. It's going to be 6 soon. Yeah, Ricky's now 6. He's out leveling you.
Missing middle.
And so this whole lane phase is now kind of broken down. Lion's trying to roam. And you can see they're up 2k gold net worth because of the kills in large part, but also because this Ricky's gotten, you know, gotten too much. 3-0, and then also the XP, that 1500 XP, that is all because the Ricky got so much XP in them. And that is just, you know, what makes the game go long. These first 7 minutes of the game are like the most important. Seeing you walk at them, but what can you do? Yeah, they just go on you. Omni just gets silenced up, and you're dead. Oh no. Whew, good save by Sushi. You go up. Oh, but Ricky's level 6, so get repelled. That doesn't do anything. Ult. Mango. Please tell me you kill this Witch Doctor. Oh, the missed stun. Oh my goodness. You guys are gonna kill him, right? Oh man, he's wasting. He's salved up during this time. Oh, this Witch Doctor gets away. Pull the cask. Okay, you do get the kill on him. Oh, but you're gonna die too. Yeah, wow. So that whole fight just shows you like the power of having that higher level Ricky. You not bringing regen, so you got quite low. You weren't able to salve up after you just had fairy fires, which were nice for that engagement. But you there, and that whole time, that whole engagement, you were even. But because they were able to punish the axe and then rotate their supports out, and you guys rotated your supports out, they rotated one up top, and look, you're now 20 last hits behind, and the gold lead is just really bad. So it just kind of shows you, like, when your offlaner doesn't play well, they can then pressure you safely. And when you don't properly play well, that means their offlaner is much stronger and able to punish you. So those are just things to work on. Work on freezing the wave. Work on having your supports buy the proper items and zone properly. You don't want to show that you have vision until you have kill potential. So you want to have Lion be the one to, you know, just throw that stun out, and then you pounce on him and you kill him. Meanwhile, he's going to get so much XP. Properly dewarding the pull camp once you realize this is gone, and then just pulling. Just chain pulling. Pull from the small camp. Don't always stack pull here, because Ricky can easily sap XP just by sitting here. And you're never going to have a sentry there to stop him from sapping. So against invis heroes or heroes that can easily sap XP, just try to chain pull through the small camp, and it just works out for you better. So that's Safelane. I think you guys pretty handily lost the Safelane there. They got a kill on you. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. There are things in that fight you could have done better, but I'm not going to go over them too much. I'm just going to focus on the laning decisions. So now we're going to go back to the beginning of the game, and we're going to look at what Kyrie does mid. Now, Kyrie is a Morphling mid versus a DP. This is super scary, and it's a pretty shitty matchup. You have low base damage, you have low attack range, you only have an attack range of 350, which is much less than DP. And you also, like, your nuke to push waves is also your escape to get away from her Soul Siphon. So it's a pretty rough lane, honestly. As far as your items go, I will say this, like, if you're going mid, I don't care. If this is a team game, they should be pulling you those goddamn tangos. Like, you're a bottle mid especially, you could have, functionally, you have pretty much the same amount of regen if you have 2 pool tangos, and you have an extra 115 gold closer to your bottle. That's a massive deal. There's just no reason for you not to have pool tangos. So tell your supports to give them to you. So now we're watching lane. You skill up waveform first. I like this. Otherwise, if you use morph stats, yeah, your base damage sucks. If you morph stats, she can just run at you with Soul Siphon, and there's nothing you can do. You just lose that trade hugely. Now you see here, Kyrie successfully aggroed these onto his range creep. He's going to get a free last hit, and he gets that deny. And that range creep deny is pretty huge. Now she gets one on hers too, but that's the sort of thing that I was talking about, Dreadbeats, that you can do. You can get easy last hits that way, especially as a melee hero, or in this case, a Morphling, who is effectively the melee hero of this matchup. And you can see Death Prophet is trying to bully him. So far, you know, Death Prophet's taking advantage of the advantageous matchup, but, you know, Kyrie's doing fine. He's still got plenty of health and regen. And she could really be doing a lot more to bully him. She could be forcing out his waveform. He's only got mana for 2 waveforms. Like, you could, and it's on 11-second cooldown. So if she just walked uphill and cast Soul Siphon on him, like, she'd force out that waveform, or she can force out hugely favorable trades for her. So You know, Kyra's kind of looking out here. The opponent's not playing great, but that's exactly what you do. You take advantage of your opponent not playing great. Now that's scary. I know he wanted to get that last hit, but he missed. He only got 2 last hits. He used the waveform up, and he needed a waveform to get that last hit. And I understand why he did it, but man, like, he could have just last hit for those 2. Looks like he's morphed a little bit of agility. That's fine. I mean, you need to get base damage up, otherwise she's just going to be able to out-deny you. But overall, he's doing okay-ish. Yeah, you got to get those last hits for your bottle. I'm fine with that. Like, you missed that other one, but, you know, whatever. 1 last hit secured your bottle. It's fine. So now, you're just looking at getting harassed. And DP, I assume you just clicked her. Yeah, she's got her bottle too, and she's got 73 damage. You've got 58. Like, you just don't get last hits in these situations. Like, it's so hard. And then if she punches you, this is just such a hard matchup. And you're like, she hasn't even used Soul Siphon on you, which still boggles my fucking mind. Is so good on her. Like, why didn't she Soul Siphon me? See it right here? Look what happens. She forces out your waveform, which is a big chunk of your mana pool and your health, and she forces out the salve. She could have done that so much earlier. Then she cancels your salve and just keeps punching you. Like, oh man. Imagine if she'd done that at level 1. Imagine if she'd done that at level 2 and kept doing it. Like, not a happy Morphling. Looks like Gengakai's coming mid to get a gank going. Okay. Problem with this is you're almost dead, and I think you're gonna die here. Yeah, you're gonna die. This is so greedy. Like, you should have just run straight to Rune, like, instead of sitting there with no HP. So the other thing I'll say in this matchup here, I think you buying a Wraithband is like straight up criminal. Like, I think you just need, like, yeah, the stats are good, blah blah blah. But man, you just need to get boots this matchup. Like, you're a 285 move speed hero. Death Prophet just got a solo kill on you. She's a 310 move speed hero. She's gonna have boots soon. I think she already has boots on the courier. She's got the okay, she's wasting so much time on this haste rune. Yeah, she's now got boots. So yeah, even without the haste rune, she's got such a move speed advantage. She can just force out your waveform anytime she wants with Soul Siphon. And instead, she just like decides to take half her HP and casual harass damage for no reason. So, fortunately, she didn't take advantage of that situation, but she could have. And being at a boots disadvantage is a big deal. Overall, though, you're outlast hitting her. Like, you can see that even with the solo kill, you're 17 to 19. So you're just outplaying her overall. Except you got so greedy. Right here, you're taking a lot of damage for no reason. Like, yeah, you're harassing her. That's so scary. Like, I would not be waveforming forward like that. Okay. I guess you knew Gengakai was going to give you a salve, so you're just trading some HP there. Well, that's good of him to do, to rotate in there, but, see, now here you should have your boots immediately. It looks like you opt for the full Aquila first, which is just super greedy. Like, oh, you're getting gone on by the Witch Doctor. Maledict lands. Now you're getting Soul Siphoned. You don't waveform far enough. You don't have boots. You are slowly walking away. You just now are morphing health. You take a ton of damage here. If Death Prophet had enough mana for another pulse, like, you'd just been dead. But you survived it because you're a Morphling and you're strong. And Omni comes out to help you. You buy a stick too instead of boots? Oh man, like, boots are important, especially in these matchups here. Yeah, you don't have enough mana to waveform. You don't get the rune. You get mangoed up by the Omni, and then they're like, ugh. And now you have to go home. You're missing out so much time in lane. Now this DP's got her phase up. She gets all this time to free last hit. She's level 6. You're also level 6 because I guess just the split XP and you out denied her. So yeah. Now you're morphing back to edgy. This is necessary. 700 HP. I don't play Morphling. I don't think that's a play, personally. I think you'd want a little more HP for that, but, you know. Whatever you feel comfortable last hitting with and surviving with. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, right there, you didn't have vision that the CM was there, but you did have vision of the Death Prophet. She's level 7. If she had a point in silence, you are 100% dead. The silence lasts for 3 seconds. You wouldn't be able to morph strength in that entire duration, and they could just go on you. As it is, CM's a little slow to react, and hits you with that instead of the slow first. You're able to morph strength now. You are so almost dead. Fortunately for you, you're a Morphling, so you are incredibly hard to kill. But man, if they had a silence at any point in there, they could have easily killed you. And let's look at what that waveform gained you. I do not want half speed.
Missing middle.
So, you waveform, I'm pretty sure you just waveform to get a catapult. Like, that's it. Okay, so you're punching the catapult to get it low enough for you to last hit. Yeah. You waveform to get the catapult, hit her, harass. But you actually don't get any of these last hits. And then CM's there. If CM reacts instantly, you're dead. And if she has a point in silence, you're dead. Instead, CM reacts slowly, or, yeah, she had Nova'd you immediately, you would have been dead. Instead, she reacts a little slowly, and you're able to get away with it. Man, that was so risky. Next time you're in that situation, Kairai, like, don't... You want to waveform back to safety. So you want to, like, hit all the creeps down to get them low to make sure your waveform will actually kill them. And then you waveform back to your own high ground. You don't waveform aggressively in on them like that when you don't have high ground vision. It's just, like, not the play. Especially when you know the supports are missing. You know, Dreadbeats has been killed bot. The supports, Witch Doctor's top. You have no idea where the CM is. Like, just insanely risky plays. And like I said, if CM had properly used her Crystal Nova immediately, the second you done that, the second you pulled yourself out of position, you're dead. That slow impacts you immediately. She's able to get the Frostbite sooner. More right clicks. You're standing inside their creep wave longer. Like, and you didn't get any last hits out of it. Like, the gain was you got the one catapult, which you probably could have just punched. And yeah, you harass the DP enough. And you end up, because they dive the tower, they end up losing a lot of Regent health for that. But you have to use up your entire bottle. You're now morphed to complete strength, so you have very little damage, so it's going to cost you a ton of mana to get back. So just not these trades, not worth.
Right.
So
Should have had a plan B.
That's just my little review of the laning phase. Overall, I think, you know, Kairai, you outplayed the DP mid in a disadvantageous matchup. That's great. But, you know, in your offlane and safe lane, you guys got beat handily. This left you at an XP advantage of 1,500 and a gold disadvantage of 3k gold. And this is what set it up. 5-1. This sets up the snowball. The rest of this game, let's go out of here. Let's just talk about this. If we go here, yeah. So we go to the graph, go to the team next. If you go to this rest of the graph, that is all sets up for, they are in the lead for the vast majority of the game. And they can stay at, like, after 10 minutes, yeah. After 10 minutes, you look at this, their Jug has free farm. You're ahead of the mid by a little bit, which is great, because that's a shitty matchup for you. But then their offlane has almost as much farm as your safe lane. Your Axe has the farm level of their supports, and you're really poor. And then at 10 minutes, your levels, too. They just suck. Let's turn them off. What are your levels? Yeah, at level 10, their levels you just look at their levels, they're just higher. They just have more XP than you guys. And this is what takes the game late. Even though, you know, if you just look at everything's happening, you get pretty far ahead, and then the Ricky just transitions into a core, and you guys are in the back foot the whole time. And that's all because that Ricky got so much free XP, and then once they could rotate the supports up there, he was able to farm safer than Kimbrel was. So hopefully this guy, like, this sort of thing helps you just to look at the lanes and think about what you're doing. And yeah, and if you guys want more specific stuff or look at other games, I'll be happy to do that. And for anyone else who's not in the DotP.Devils, hopefully you watched this and got a little out of it too. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you don't. So I'll just plug my Twitter again. This is my Twitter. You can follow me at Fafnir Dota. You can send me tweets to matches you want me to look at. You can send me tweets to games, like talk about what you want to, what you want advice on, where you want me just a general look at the early game, why things are going this way. And also follow at DotP Show. The Devils are sponsored by DotP. There's some guys who've been hanging out in the DotP community for a long time. They're good guys, playing the AD2L for quite a long time now. And I know most of them listen to the podcast. At least Kimbrel does. So that's all I have. And hopefully trying something different with this video. Hopefully people like it.